So I had two really weird real estate dreams. The first one was that I showed up to closing with an undershirt on, not a stylish like V-neck, an undershirt. Do you understand? And then the second was that a day before closing, one of my sellers renovated their entire house and spent money on it. Welcome back to the vlog. Hope you guys are doing well. Back out to show some property. I wanted to talk today about networking, how to build your network, what's worked for me, and honestly, I think it made my life a lot easier, just in general, but also my professional life as well. So quick to ramp up my real estate business here. So anyway, we're going to talk about that today, but first we gotta go show a home. All right, so here's the house I'm showing real quick. 5-bedroom, 5-bath up in Johns Creek, a little north of Sandy Springs, a little north of Atlanta. 5 bedrooms, 5 baths, 3,900 square feet. Got a little half bath in there. Nice open kitchen. Over there. Dining room in here. Nice backyard though, nice and shaded. A big cul-de-sac. Master bath. How do you guys feel about that? Let me know down in the comments. It's amazing. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Facts, lot of haters. Tell me where they at, though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap, though. Yeah. Want me on your song, throw a couple stacks, yo. Woo. Everybody wanna do the same thing. Yup. That's why we ain't on the same page. No. Do my own thing, and I maintain. Woo. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I did forget to show you this area. So this is the main entrance going here, just to the left. One downstairs real quick. And you guys are seeing this just as I am. Nice little theater room here that goes outside. Little terrace level here. Full bath. We got this set up as an office. Nice. Unfinished storage in here. I like that. This is, to me, this is appropriate for this house. Like this much space. May get a little out of breath.
That's vlogging, man.
But you can see a lot in a little amount of time. And when you look at houses all day, you can imagine tons of storage out there. Here's your main entryway, another closet there, closet there. No shortage of space. Nice though. For all of you worried about my health and well-being, I am parked, but as far as networking goes, there's like a couple quick things that I think about when I go into a networking event or when I'm doing social media networking. And the first is to find the sphere, my sphere, and then go the next ring out. So their friends, their acquaintances, their family, their next ring, right? Because if your sphere of influence will trust you, chances are, if they put in a good word for you at least, that you can kind of get that next ring out. And so for as long as I can remember, probably like the last 20 years or so, I have been a consummate networker. So networking events and career fairs, I mean, it wasn't just like professional, it was also personal. So I volunteered for our HOA here. I was president of that for 4 years. I volunteered for the local Porsche club here in Atlanta, the Peach State Porsche Club, and was vice president of that last year. So there's like a lot of different ways that you can get involved and grow your network without just attending networking events, right? So neighborhoods, civic organizations, your passions. Porsches for me is it, right? I mean, you guys know that. So kind of going that next ring out to me is really, really important. And to me, that's where the magic happens, because again, your sphere loves you, they trust you, and they like you, and they want you to be successful. But the next ring out does as well. They just don't know it yet. And so when I go into a networking event, for instance, I'm grabbing cards and I'm making introductions, and I'm hopefully, if I know someone there, at least one person, I can introduce them to someone, and then they can introduce me to someone else. And so obviously, if you're walking into a networking event, you know, just like everyone else there knows, there's a good chance they're there to do the same thing you are, which is get contacts. It's to get names and email addresses and phone numbers and everything else, right? So the way or the process that I go about doing that is 5 minutes, like 4 or 5 minutes tops with every single contact. And it's hard to do sometimes, because when you're in a big group of 4, 5, 6 people sitting there talking, you don't want to be the one jerk that's like, all right, well, peace out. But at the same time, like, that's how you build your network. And so practically what I do is I go in and I'm trying to kind of keep that 5 minutes in the back of my head. Now, if I'm having a great conversation with someone and like feel like it can build a lot of rapport, and especially if I feel like they're going to buy or sell or invest in real estate in the next year or 2 or 5 or 10, however long they're going to take, I want to make sure that I make an impression, right? So I'll grab their card, I'll put them in my database, and then get religious about contacting them. I go to Facebook, I go to Instagram, I go to YouTube, anywhere they are, I want to be, so that I can go and engage with their content. Because just like a follower for me or a like for me on my page, it's just the same way for them, right? They want to feel encouraged and motivated and inspired and everything. And so if you're out there supporting their content, they will help support yours. So I'll get their business card, get them in the database, go follow them on every platform I can find them on, and then I shoot them an email or a text or a phone call, whatever I feel is kind of appropriate for them, and you know, based on that first engagement with them, what will be most impactful for them. Some people I meet and I'm like, if I call this guy, he's going to be super creeped out about it. And then with others, I'm like, I'm just going to shoot a text, I'm going to shoot an email, or, and this is like totally new for me at least, even though I'm doing tons of video content between this channel and Selling Sandy Springs with Matt LaMarsh, which you know you can find the link in the description for that. Go around and interview small business owners and nonprofits and so on and so forth, but here it is. And Instagram and Facebook and everywhere else that I put video content out. But I'm shooting a personalized video. I'm saying their name, I'm saying it was great to meet you at that event, at that location, and then I'm personalizing a video message to them. And that way they feel like he took time out of his day to send me a personalized message. It's not just a generic email or text message or even a phone call. I mean, that's super personal, I think. And people do appreciate it, but a video's like, and you get to see my face. So that's kind of like my process, and then build the relationship from there. Like, find out what you have in common, find out your common interests, find out, for me, a lot of it is, do you have kids? Like, are you on the soccer team? Are you know, what are you doing with your kids? What are you doing with your family? Like, where do you guys go to vacation? Like, just general questions. And I think the difference between me and a lot of other people, and I know there are other people that do this, but I'm digging on that contact or that connection, because I know people in my network that will benefit from what they do and what their service, their business, their nonprofit, whatever they do, right? A lot of people, and I think this is the biggest mistake that most people make with networking, is what's in it for me, right? That is absolutely not my approach. In fact, I don't even think about that, to be honest with you. Now, if someone comes out and says, hey Matt, I'm looking to buy a house in the next 3 months, let's talk about that, right? But at the end of the day, I put myself not even on the stove, right? I'm not even on the back burner. I'm not even on the stove. And so for me, it's what value do they have? What value do they bring to the table, to a transaction, to a nonprofit somewhere? Like, what are their connections, and what does their network mean for me? And what does my network mean for them? And that, to me, is your win-win, right? And that's where you really kind of reach a different place, because that translates when people feel like you genuinely want to help them and that you genuinely want to help to connect them to more and new people. They will absolutely take that connection every single time, 100%. So anyway, just a little bit of practical, tactical stuff. The way that I think about networking, we're gonna do like a whole, maybe like mini series or something on that. But I've been religious about this. Like, this wasn't like I did it for a year and then I took it off for a couple of years and then I brought it back. I've been doing this for, like I said, probably close to 20 years. From the time that I was, and we're gonna do a whole nother video on my professional life and everything that I've done, because when you look at my resume, you're like, what? But from even my first job, I was making connections. I was trying to build my network so that I could do the next thing, because I knew I wasn't always going to be washing cars at a car dealership. When I worked for the boat dealer, I knew I wasn't always going to work with a boat dealer, and eventually got a job with Yamaha, working for one of their dealers and then working for them. And so to me, this whole thing is just a big web, and how you construct it is really, really important. And again, don't think short-term about this. Think long-term. Think, how does this connection benefit me now and 10 years from now? And how can I build a relationship, whether it's personal or professional, that will benefit them 10, 15, 20 years from now? I really, really am passionate about that. It's worked. And it's why, again, I think I've been able to ramp up my real estate business here so quickly, is because of my network. So as soon as I send an email out to 6,500 people, and they're like, oh, Matt's doing real estate now. I mean, the phone just started ringing, literally. Now, I only did 4 transactions last year, but it was $2.1 million. And so, being out hustling and working open houses and doing stuff to bring in leads, but also communicating to that network, hey, look, a pivot has been made. And here's what I'm doing now. And especially to go from lawn care, like taking care of the lawn, to I want to help you sell that house. That's a big jump for a lot of people and in most people's minds. And but to me, it's very, very intertwined. And so, but it's exactly how I started my lawn care business as well. Networking like mad. I was attending 4 or 5 networking events a week when I started that business, just to get the name out there, right? And ultimately, it led me to not just a big business all over Atlanta, it was a big business in Sandy Springs, and I was super hyper local. And that's what every real estate agent wants, by the way. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Hope you enjoyed that quick tour, because it was quick, but that's what you can expect. All killer, no filler. Did I say hit that subscribe button already? If not, hit it again. And make sure you turn on the bell notifications. There's 10 videos up right now, I think, over the last week or so here that I've done. And just one after another, after another, after another. They've been coming quickly, and a lot of this is kind of stemmed from Instagram. My stories started getting really, really long on there, so people were like, you need to cut the stories down. So I was like, great, I'll go to YouTube with all this stuff. So anyway, but thank you again for joining us. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed. And thank you. I just really, really appreciate you guys following along. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought about that master vanity there. If you're not following me on Instagram, Matt_LaMarsh, LaMarsh. Connect with me there. I'd love to hear more about the content, what you guys think, what you're doing with it. Are you watching the whole thing? Are you watching the first 30 seconds? What can I do to bring you more value? What can I do to bring you more of what I do day to day? And what would be interesting content for you to see? Thanks so much for checking it out. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.